have a local donor.
Well, I have a first question I wanted to start with, and that's to the director, Chip. We in the film see all the students go through a journey of learning and discovery on their own medical career path, on their life, on their body, and I can't help but wonder if you went on that journey, Chip, and if you could describe how this was in any way transformative for you to be so up close and personal with the cadavers.
Wow, simple question. We'll just start with that. Yeah, it was a pretty amazing journey for me with the crew, with the students. The biggest change for me is I wasn't sure when I went into it whether I would donate my body, and now I'm completely comfortable with the idea. So if you could narrow it down to one thing, I would say that's it. And then the other part is that Huck and I were shooting it, and the more immersed we became in the process, the more the beauty of the inside of the body revealed itself. And so the art of the inside of the body became really fundamental for me.
I think it'd be fun to have each of the students and the crew to just pass a mic down and introduce yourselves. Introduce yourself.
I'm Dylan. I'm going into surgery. I'm a fourth year medical student now, as all of us are.
I'm Amanda. I'm applying to neurology residency right now.
Kevin, third year. I took a year off, so I'm not with these people. I'm going into hematology.
I'm Gohar. I'm going to go into oncology, where I use lasers instead of chemotherapy, so radiation oncology.
I'm Nate, and I'm going into anesthesiology.
I'm Wojciech Pawlina, I'm chair of the Department of Anatomy and one of the teachers of anatomy in the Mayo course.
I'm Paco, and I am one of the living donors.
I'm Tehran Pfeiffer, and I was a member of the crew.
Huck, and I was a member of the crew, co-produce.
I'm Deeyar. I'm a fourth year student. I've applied to ENT, so going into surgery involving the head and neck.
Excellent. Well, thank you all for being here. For all our bodies and lives. Rachel, we're going to start with the question over here.
Oh, hi. Thank you very much. It was very moving. My question has to do with permissions that people gave to be a part of this project before the project, or family members, and what their awareness is of how this footage is being used in terms of kind of their own maybe vulnerability about seeing the film if their family member was one of the cadavers.
I'm going to let Dr. Pawlina answer the question because he was part of the Mayo team that got all of the clearances for the cadavers that are seen in the film.
After we learned that there will be a film and filming of the cadaver, we went back to the family of the donors and requested specific permission if they allowed their donors to be filmed for this kind of film. And every family gave us permission, and they were really proud that their loved ones can be part of something.
Kind of quick follow-up, do you have any sense that there are some family members who will want to see this, who will be interested in this?
We had some communication. They were asking when the movie is coming, and they were sort of looking forward to see it.
First, congratulations for passing your gross anatomy. And I think all medical students, they study gross anatomy, but you guys are very lucky because not only you study, but you are interviewed, filmed, documented during the whole process. So I wonder that whether you can share with us that what other benefits or help outside the classroom that you get by going through the whole process, being filmed, interviewed, and documented. Just don't say this one, right now you guys become a movie star because you are, but what other benefits do you get?
Sure, I can start. I think the most powerful part of it was it forced us to reflect. I think we were reflecting all along, but the crew posed such important questions to us about the soul that you had to think about it in that moment. You had to stop what you were doing and think about it.
I agree with Deeyar. It was a time of reflection that otherwise we probably wouldn't have had because we were so regimented in our routine. And this is the second time I've seen the film, but the first time I saw it, it was like, you know, I was on the edge of my seat, like, what's gonna happen next? And it's like, I was there, you know, I should probably know that. But I think it really gives us kind of a nice little packaged bit of, you know, what our experience was, and being able to see it from all my classmates' point of view too it's awesome.
Yeah, I'd say that one of the things that really, I think, impressed me when Chip came and explained the film to us is one of his ideas behind this was to be sort of an educational film for people out there who maybe want to become a doctor or maybe want to become a body donor. And that is really what struck a chord with me and made me want to be involved with it. It's a high stress enough class, so I didn't really want to spend my time necessarily interviewing, quite honestly. But I thought the ability to pass along to new generations of doctors, education is something that fascinates me. And I think that's an incredible ability to be able to do that and hopefully inspire someone else to come along this process and follow in the footsteps of our mentors.
This is two parts. It appeared to me as if most of the cadavers were elderly people by the look of the skin, and I was wondering if you or any of your classmates had worked on cadavers that were, say, under the age of 60, and if that made a difference when you first saw the body, and also if, as students, you know in advance if your cadaver had become deceased from cancer, that you were going to find organs that would look different than someone who had died of old age.
Our donation program, the average age of the body that we receive in our department is about 80. Therefore, majority are elderly individuals. We don't have sort of younger donors in our program, and that's probably majority in the United States. And regarding to diseases, students uncover a lot of changes during the dissection. One of their assignments during going to the dissection is to find and document those changes. And at the end of the course, pathologist is coming and they collect the specimens and they discuss changes in histology of those specimens later on in the course of pathology. Therefore, it's the continuation of education from anatomy to pathology. Maybe students will reflect how they felt if they found something.
So my patient actually had an abdominal aortic aneurysm, so I known about that kind of going in, that there would be some blood in her abdomen from the rupture of that, but just to see that was really quite striking, kind of humbling to see that this was the ticking time bomb that ultimately led to her demise, and it was back in kind of a moment of silence to appreciate the fragility of our anatomy and just the wonder of it at the same time.
Yeah, for our cadaver, the radiologist scrolled through on the first day and said, oh, you're gonna have fun with the chest. And we actually found out that they died of an aortic dissection that ripped into the sac around their heart, and so blood filled around their heart. But there's a lot of surprises when you go through the body, so we found a ball of, a lot of us just living in the Midwest get like a fungus in our lungs called histoplasmosis. And your body just walls it out, so we found like a small ball of fungus in our lung, lipoma. You know, you find all these different things throughout the body. It's kind of it's interesting to see what we accumulate as we age.
Yeah, I think too, just going off of that, not even just cause of death, but you know, my cadaver had 2 knee replacements and a hip replacement, and it was just kind of like not really expecting those types of things, but seeing these very tangible procedures that people undergo daily was just very interesting in the lab.
Actually, all the questions I was going to ask, the woman on the other side asked, but I want to follow up a little bit, because most of the cadavers you're getting are obviously older, like myself, and they have most likely had surgery of various kinds. And do you
Yeah, I think I can speak to that. I know our cadavers. So one of them had basically electrodes in their heart, so that at some point they had basically a device put in, a surgery, so they had the device still actually in their chest with the wires going down to their heart. And I think that was kind of, Amanda alluded to this, it's remarkable to stop and think about kind of what they went through. You know, we don't know at what point in their life they had that cardiac catheterization occur, or what that impact that had on their family, or how long they were in the hospital, or whether or not they were in the ICU with their family for months at a time. And so it's kind of interesting to think about those things and wonder kind of what happened with this person. So that's one example. And we did trace back the leads and figured out kind of what they had that place for.
Just a follow-up on that is, my wife died this year and was a cadaver at the Wisconsin Medical Center, College, and had a variety of mechanical devices, which I was wondering about as a part of the cadaver process, why the history isn't looked at, so that the students would have some idea of what they're going to be seeing and what they're going to be finding.
We at Mayo Clinic are fortunate that most of our donors are Mayo Clinic patients. Therefore, our students have access to the cadavers, to the history of the cadavers, have access to the imaging of the cadavers. They are de-identified, but that's the extra sort of tool that they can use in their study. And if they encounter some kind of the diseases or some kind of the surgery, I think that's the impetus for us as a faculty and also for students to read more about this, to provide them more information, to create some questions even for students that they will utilize this kind of new information in there. Therefore, yes, with our school, medical history, I am one of the students.
I think too, just going back to what I said earlier about hip replacements, knee replacements, that was the first time I've ever seen any type of knee replacement, and you know, in a normal medical school curriculum, I may not have seen that otherwise. So being able to kind of, you know, move the knee and see how the prosthetic joint really worked, and you know, be able to look up the imaging for how that correlated, it was, I think, very educational from our standpoint.
So we just have time for one more question on each side, but the filmmakers and I believe the students would be available in the lobby for more questions. But here, Rachel.
Yes, I have a short three-part. We'll make up for the others. When it came to the first time you met your cadavers, I would imagine your feelings were more trying to be clinical, correct? I mean, these were just bodies. How, when it came to working on them, did your attitudes towards them change? When they were cremated, you had a memorial, I guess, and you had all their relatives and such. Did you make a connection of any kind between the cadaver, that body, that person, and their family? The emotional connection.
I can speak more generally. We did meet a lot of the families, and the ceremony he's talking about is a very powerful ceremony. You have all the families of the cadavers that come, and we honor them. We write poetry honoring them. Although we don't meet the exact family of our cadaver, every family there is almost like a symbol of our cadaver's family, if that makes sense. I don't know that meeting the exact family would matter to me. It's just that connection. I mean, there were so many tears in the room of people meeting families. It was just a powerful day.
Too, I think it was opposite from that. When I first walked in, I think it was fear. It was, oh my gosh, this is like a real dead person in front of me. And as you go, you unfortunately, but also fortunately, have to become numb to the process just to get through it.
And we'll take one more question over here.
I was incredibly moved by the reverential approach you all took to this experience. And it gives me great hope for the future of medicine. I think all of you are going to be awesome physicians, so thank you. Chip, I had a question for you. I'm wondering if you picked these folks to get edited in because they had that sensitivity, Did you have others that you kept out, or truly are the rest of the group this awesome?
I'll go with question number 3. Yes, they're all this awesome. We had a class of 52 students. We met them approximately 10 days before the class with the understanding that this is the most difficult, most strenuous class in medical school. And really, we were amazed that any of them would take the time to talk with us. Of the roughly 52, there were 22 who agreed to be interviewed and 16 made it into the film. Some of them simply aren't in it simply because over the course of the class we didn't have any more time with them. They couldn't allow us to interview them more, to follow their journey. These guys were great, and I really do think the entire class was exceptional, really. And so, as you were saying, somebody was saying the future of medicine looks pretty good. That's my feeling as well.
Absolutely, round of applause to all of our students, crew behind the first patient. Very important question, Chip, how can we support the film? How can we spread the word about the film?
So the short answer right now is thefirstpatient.com. That if you stay in touch with our website, there's some amazing blog posts on there written by physicians and healthcare workers from all over the world. The listings for future performances of this film around the country will be on the website. It opens next Friday night in New York. Please tell your friends in New York City to come and see it. It's at a theater in Lower Manhattan called Cinema Village. And then it opens November 9th for a week in Los Angeles. And it will be back here in Milwaukee. So why don't you talk about that?
So please spread the word about the first patient. We are planning to, as Chip just scooped, bring it back to the Oriental Theater after the film festival. So please spread the word and join us in the lobby if you have any more questions. And thank you so much, Chip, Bob, Leland, the whole